Hello there guys, Francis Gray here and welcome back to a brand new video build. In today's video we're going to be continuing on with our horror icon themed bust collection. So if you haven't seen any of them being built before, there'll be links in the description bar below. Basically I 3D print various busts. They've all got the same skull pile base to them, and every now and again I add another horror icon character to the Evergrown collection. And so far they've been proven quite popular online, so yeah, let's crack on with that, shall we? So hopefully the YouTube algorithm might find me one day. But all that being said, what character we're going to be working with today? Well, with it being the first weekend in October, or as we like to call it here at Joker Laugh, spooky season, I thought what horror icon will be better to sum up the month, or the whole month, than, yes, you guessed it, Sam from Trick or Treat. I'll see you after this. Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and in today's video we're going to be continuing on with our ever-growing horror icon bust collection. So today's video we are going to be focusing on the character of Sam from the awesome movie Trick or Treat. So this file originally I found on a website called cgtrader.com, and it depicts Sam sat down from this famous scene from the movie, and yeah, it was originally made by a user named or called Gfazari. yeah, I probably butchered that, so apologies if I have. But yeah, he's done a really good job on making this. So I went ahead and I bought it and I downloaded it. But for today's build, we're not going to be making it as it's meant to be made. So basically, I'm going to take it into a software called Matter Control, where I'm going to basically take this file and I'm going to edit it to a point where it's just the top half of Sam, and then we can scale it up to so it fits in scale with all the other previous horror bust icons that we've made in the past. And the problem with this file though is, as you can see there on the one on the left, that's the original file blew up. But I'm not a huge fan how that there's like a bulgy part where his arm is on his right, and obviously that bit of rope around his neck is just like going off to pulling to the right, which would, if I'm truthfully honest, kind of annoys me. So what I did was I sliced the file in half, mirrored it, and then merged it back together to make a brand new bust of Sam. So now that we've got that file, I also went ahead and made it so it would fit on the skull base. That is the thing that ties all these busts together. They're all on the same skull pile base. And I also went ahead and I made a little hand, because one of the most things iconic with Sam is he has a signature like lolly where it's like a pumpkin's face, kind of like a jack-o'-lantern's face, but there's like a big bite took out of it, and then the straw is like a orange and black kind of swirl going down. And so in order to make that, I actually took a hand off a Chucky STL file and just reworked it, and then I scratch built the lolly from a drawing that I made of the actual jack-o'-lantern head, and the rest of it was just fairly simple, just like a cylinder cone pulled down and then all meshed together to make a brand new hand, and then I just basically made it fit the overall bust. So now that all that has been explained, let's go ahead and crack on with 3D printing.
"75 years later."
Okay, so here we are back from the print bed. Let's go ahead and clean this up. Okay, beginnings of a nice SAM. So yeah, let's go ahead and clean this up. Okay, so freshly back from the print bed, and as you can see there, we've got a few minimal supports to take out. Okay, so let's do a test comparison. Okay, that seems to fit lovely for a little bit of cleanup. And then obviously, if I can hold it, obviously that's going to go like that. So yeah, so far so good. So I need to go ahead and carefully drill a channel hole going through his hand, so the we can go ahead and house the handle. Okay, that ought to do great. Same again, that ought to do great. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with a normal everyday grey prime from a rattle can, and we're going to make sure that all surfaces are primed. Okay, so back from the spray booth, so we now have a nice surface to paint from. So without further ado, let's crack on with painting. Okay, to start things off, I'm going to go in with some dark flesh from Model Colour. And for the next part, I'm going to go in with some Spanish saffron from a tester pot, and we're going to go ahead and start mapping out the oranges. Okay, so the orange that we've already painted, now that's just an undercoat. So for the next stage, we're going to go in with a more vibrant hot orange from Vallejo Game Colour. And now in with a humble number 61 regular flesh colour. Okay, so for the next part I'm going to go in with a dark brown acrylic, and we're going to go ahead and start laying a base coat to Sam's head. And now I'm going to do the exact same, but with the hand. Okay, so this has already been created to fit onto the side of there like that. But we need to go ahead and house Sam's iconic Trick or Treat lolly. So in order to do that, I have this long, I'm not really too sure, it's a bit stronger than plastic, but it's not quite metal. It's like some kind of like acrylic rod maybe, I don't know. But basically I think that will work perfect for this lolly. So I've already pre-drilled a hole in his hand that should fit perfect, so it's housed like that. So in order, before we go ahead and start detail painting, we need to go ahead and glue A to B to C. Okay, that looks just about right for now. Okay, let's go ahead and leave that to dry. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and try and feed this through. Okay, so for the next part I need to gauge how much of the stick I need to cut off. So in order to do that I need to have Sam elevated up on his natural base. Okay, so I'm thinking like that. So probably about there. Okay, so let's get cutting. Okay, I think that is going to work brilliantly. I'm over the moon with that. So for the next part I'm going to go in with some more Spanish saffron. I'm going to start laying some foundation orange to the popsicle stick. Okay, so for the next part I want this lolly to basically be a different shade to the rest of the orange. So I'm going to give it a little bit more of a yellowish kind of hue to it. So we're going to go in with some yellow fluorescence from Model Colour. And for the next part I'm going to go in with some yellow ochre from Model Air. And now I'm going to do the exact same on the hand to mimic Sam's burlap sack gloves. And now I'm going to go in with a dark mahogany from Model Air, and we're going to go ahead and start mapping out the buttons on Sam's burlap mask. And we're also going to use what's left to add some shadage to the underside or the inside of the rope around his neck. Okay, so now back in with the Humbrol number 61 fresh colour, and we're just going to give a general light dry brush with a big massive makeup brush, just so we can highlight those much needed details on the burlap sack. And kudos to the 3D printer, because it actually did pick up on all the individual tiny little details on that burlap sack. So yeah, the 3D printer did a solid good job on this one. So yeah, so obviously we've got to colour match it, so we need to do the little hand glove as well. And now in with some regular black acrylic, and we're just going to go in with a detailing brush and take our time and paint the inside of the mouth and the eye of the lolly. So while the detailing brush and the black acrylic's already out, we might as well start mapping out that little black swirl pattern that goes around the popsicle stick. But as you can see, with the hand being very tight grip or grasp of the actual stick, it's going to be hard to actually paint this. So yeah, it did take me a while to get this right. And now in with a dry brush of light brown from Model Air. So I'm not going to go into crazy detail on how I made the skull bases, because I'm pretty sure you guys already know, because if you've been following these horror bus builds, then I've explained how the steps that I've took in the previous videos. So if you really want to see like the info on that, just check out the Art the Clown, which was the first one I did. I really go into detail on that one. But if you're not bothered, then it's fine, just crack on with the build. And now in with a light brown highlight from Model Air. Okay, so it seems that Sam has like a little yellow kind of off-cut bit of fabric sewn into his costume right here. Now that is going to prove a little bit of a problem, because obviously this hand needs to be glued there, and I can't have it overlapping on this, otherwise this won't fit in place. So for the next stage I'm going to go in with a little bit of milliput, and we're going to try and recreate this square. Okay, that ought to do for now. Now, does this still fit in place? Yep, seems to fit perfect. Awesome. Okay, let's leave this to fully harden. So now that milliput is dried, for the next stage we're going to go in with some off-white from Game Colour, and we're going to go ahead and give it at least 2 coats. Now that is for 2 reasons. One, because we're going to be applying a yellow soon, and the white underneath will make the yellow way more vibrant, and also the 2 layers of white underneath will make the yellow apply so much easier, rather than just trying to apply the yellow straight on there. And next we're going to go in with some light brown from Model Air, and we're going to go ahead and paint the main rope around Sam's neck, so that stands out way more vibrant than the burlap sack over his head. And we'll also use the same colour to add some highlights to emphasise the stitching on the burlap sack itself. So it just goes a long way to add a lot more definition to the overall piece. And now in for a tiny bit of medium yellow from Model Air. And now back in with that saffron orange for a top-up coat on Sam's costume. And now back in with some regular black acrylic paint, and we're going to go ahead and paint the buttons for Sam's eyes. And we're also going to water it down a little bit, and we're going to add a little bit of shadage or depth for the neck, the rope that goes around Sam's neck. And we're also going to water it down and add a little bit of edge highlight around the yellow square that we just made, so it gives across same again, a little bit of shadage, but also that there's like stitching there. And now in with a soft cream, same again, just a normal acrylic, and we're going to go ahead and paint the X stitches on the buttons, and we're also going to use it as an edge highlight to all the burlap sack and parts to the rope. So for the next part, I'm going to go in with a very watered down black acrylic wash, and we're going to go ahead and darken everything. For the next part, I'm going to go in with some German grey from Model Colour, and we're going to paint the underside and the sides. Okay, so for the next part, I'm going to glue Sam to the skull base. In order to do that, I'm going to use Yoo-Hoo glue. Okay, let's go ahead and leave that to fully dry. Okay, so in order to make this top of this lolly a little bit more realistic, we're going to go in and give it a coating of UV resin, and then we're going to cure it with this UV light torch thing, and that'll go a long way to making this look a lot more realistic. Okay guys, so for the next part we need to go ahead and add this to this. So in order to make the glue have something to hold on to, I'm going to score this up a little bit. And in order to glue this, I'm going to go in with some high velocity super glue and some carbonate of soda. Okay, so as you can see, we have a little bit of a gap there, so I'm going to fill that in with the carbonate of soda. Okay, that seems to have filled that in rather nicely. And now back in with a little top up of German grey. And now back in with a little bit of dark flesh for model colour, and we're going to go ahead and add yet another highlight just to make it stand out more vibrant from everything else that we've painted on the burlap sack. And for the next part, I'm going to go in with some matte varnish, and we're going to go ahead and coat everything except the top of the lolly. And once that has dried, I do believe this is finished. Okay guys, so here he is, all finished, and I have to admit I am happy with the finished results. So if you're a follower of this channel, you'll know that I am a fan of Sam from Trick or Treat. If you haven't seen Trick or Treat, I highly recommend it. It's a brilliant film and it really gets you in the mood for Halloween. But yeah, I absolutely love this little fella. So yeah, what better character to sum up the beginning of October than Sam. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this build, please slap that like button, share on social media like Facebook and X, etc., because it helps me people find the YouTube channel, which I'm always appreciative. Thank you for any help. If you have any comments, comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future builds or future horror icon bust builds. And if you don't mind subscribing, because the channel's current goal is to get to 3,000 subscribers, and as you can see we are almost there, and I can only get there with your help. So if you don't mind subscribing, that would be fantastic. And if you want to be a legend review, please take 5 minutes, check out my Patreon page, where with your help and support we can do these videos full time rather than part time, which means a whole lot more content for you guys and a lot more work from me and Sam here. So all that being said, thank you for watching. I'm Francis Gray, and this is Sam, the horror bust icon from the epic movie Trick or Treat. I'll see you in the next build. Nailed it.